Test, test, test now.
All right, now I hear you, and I'm going to test. All right, perfect. We both sound viable. Hell yeah. How's it going, A Pepperoni?
I'm so confused. I'm gonna check right now to see. I literally nothing changed except now I have to change the windows of this. I don't understand.
That's weird.
I don't get it, but whatever. Okay. Um.
Coming for you, Adrian.
Yep. It's time. It's an easy fix. Yeah. Don't you hate that when there's stuff that's just easy fixes, but you're just like, why is this a thing to begin with?
Yes.
Those are the worst. What's up, Paper Brony? I think we're good. Let's go for it. Hello and welcome to the Blue Beach Podcast, episode number 248, viral edition. I'm Adrian. That's David. I feel like you've been sick a lot the last few months. I have been. My immune system this last year, I've been stressed the most I've ever been for work this last year, and it's hit boomer ass me finally. I talked about this to.
Also, that and you did get COVID as well, so
I finally,
welcome
yeah,
to
I finally caught
losing
the vid.
immune system for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so well, um, so I mentioned this to you. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the podcast. Um, like literally the first day of work back from the summer. So the kids were even back. It's just it's the first like professional development day back. I woke up and just vomited, and I was like, my stomach just sucked. And I'm like, that's weird. And I went to a barbecue with friends. I'm like, I guess maybe slight food poisoning. So I messaged my friends. I'm like, hey, anyone else get sick? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then like two or three more times, actually three or four more times, the next like 2 months of the beginning of the year, I got sick just in the morning. And it would fuck me up. And then by like noonish, one ish, I'd be okay. But we're talking like I had like, it looked like my stomach was just like, when your stomach is like fucked and you're like, oh, that's gonna ruin me for a couple days. That's like the severity
Yeah.
of it, but it was gone by midday ish. Never extended the whole day.
Mm.
And I was like, this is weird. And so I'm like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I got an allergy or something. Maybe it's like a gluten allergy I've developed or something like that. But I'm not keeping track of what I'm eating. So I talked to my doctor, and we're talking about a few things. And he goes, hey, just curious, do you ever get stomach aches on the weekend? I'm like, no. He's like, huh. And I'm like, huh. He's like, yeah, I think you're getting stress induced stomach aches now. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so my body's been like that, and they went away for the most part. He was just like, basically, I gotta tell you, is just like, take care of yourself. Just try to sleep more, which is that's a fable that doesn't happen, but try to eat better, which is also a fable. It barely happens. Which I actually am gonna start trying to do more. I did gain the what do you call it? The comfort weight they call it when you're in a relationship and you're like, okay, cool, I
Oh,
could.
yeah.
You first hop in a relationship and you're like, all right, cool, I can like go for a little while. Yeah, your boy gained. If you've noticed if you saw on camera, but your boy gained a lot of that weight back that I've kept off for a couple of years. So I'm working at trimming that back to where I was while I was a single young lad. But yeah, no, the stomach aches have been good up until like maybe a few weeks to a month ago, and I got one more of those. And those things suck. This is gonna get TMI or gross, but it's that feeling, you know, when you burp and you could taste it, and you're like, that's the taste
Yep.
of when I'm gonna throw up.
Yep.
I hate it. It's the Omen now.
It happened to me a lot when I was younger. Back when I was in data backup and recovery. Mine was more ulcer based, but yeah, I had that for a good solid year where just I was like, oh, I taste that I'm gonna throw
Yeah,
up. Let's go.
I don't know. I hate that taste. Like that taste just puts me in a panic because I'm like, oh fuck, and then I gotta like do the thing where I'm like, do I just like try to get it out of my system now? But the thing that sucks is like it's not anything you ate, so you can literally almost throw up nothing, and your stomach
Yep.
is still just like, oh, it hurts. I'm like, fuck, dude. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. And I went into this school year super confident, and just things derailed super quick. I get it back on track enough to where I feel good about it, but yeah, man, like it was tough. Um, and it's funny because then I wonder back, I'm like, you never really think about that in high school, right? You just think teachers do their thing, right? And you look, and when you're
Yep.
behind the scenes on that, it's just like everything's on fire, and you just don't realize it as a student. Um, it's like almost makes me want to like hunt down all my high school teachers and just tell them thank you because that's just it's exhausting. And then yeah, excuse me, my voice is gonna progressively go out, and then
And mine may potentially. I just got my voice back today,
mm,
but I've been without mine for a couple days. So
yeah, so my voice is steadily going out. I never lost my voice, but I also haven't been talking that much. And then oh, we'll keep it shorter on this side, but yeah, no, yesterday was the tough one. I was coughing. I hung out with friends on Saturday, and then, excuse me, at the end when I was like started coughing, and they're like, and they're like, oh, you made the food. Were you sick the whole time? Um, and they had strep and a sinus infection, but luckily it wasn't that.
mm,
But I don't know how I caught the flu. But yeah, on Monday night, watched Late Night with the Devil, which fantastic film. Unfortunately, and I understand it's getting boycotted because of the AI usage in that movie. Um, it's literally like the intermission screens they use. I understand, and what my understanding is that they were messing around with it at the very inceptions of it. This was like being made in like 2021. When people were like, "Oh, AI seems kind of funny. Let's mess with it." Not like now where people are like, "Let's literally replace every single person," right?
yeah.
Um, so I'm not boycotting it. I thought it was great. Ending can go either way with me. I loved the whole movie. If I oh, sorry listeners, if I could make it, I would change the ending. But I also respect the vision, and I still enjoyed how it landed. Versus that movie was a trip. And my mom and cousin at the end were just like, "What the fuck?" It's really good. Highly recommend it. It's a very analog movie. Do you know what it is, David?
No.
It's got the dude that plays Polka Dot Man.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So what it is, it's a movie based off a late night TV show, and they're like, here's this late night. Let's give you a little history of this guy. Here's kind of like what history was. This episode got really fucking weird. We found the tape of it. We're gonna play it for you raw, and they played it, and it's like a found footage analog style horror movie of like what happened on that airing. Um, Super good. I'm mega bummed out right now that I'm sick because Ex Machina's playing in IMAX right now at theaters for only today,
Mm,
and I really wanted to see that, but it is what it is. I don't want to jeopardize my road trip for a movie that I've seen
yeah.
before. I will. When I cut gems in there, I'm in. You've seen that, right?
Pounds. No, I still haven't yet.
Oh my god, David.
I've had like everyone come out of the woodworks to tell me I need to watch that film, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I have it. I'm going to
It's
watch it. It just hasn't happened yet.
it's playing in IMAX in May, one night, same thing. I would so suggest it. It's so fucking good, David.
I definitely am gonna see. I don't think I'll do. I I know what I'm about to say is gonna sound silly considering everything I'm about to show off for what we got. But I am trying to save because there is a trip I'm gonna be doing in October. Finally, it is coming near me. Near the
Oh, yeah, the
Epilogue
Boston show.
concert. They have a
Yeah, I
Boston
saw
show
that. I
in
saw that.
October. So I turned to my partner. I'm like, "Can we go?" And she's just like, "Yeah, we'll go."
You know what?
You know, she
Hold on. What's the date of that again?
October 25th. It's a Friday.
Shit. Okay.
Were you ruminating on if it was possible for you to fly up for that?
The issue is that the girlfriend and I are going to that when we were young.
Oh yeah.
The week prior.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's a lot.
but she knows how much I want to watch it again. I'm the kind of person where I need 2 trips through something to truly appreciate it. Like, I don't know. That's why, and we talked about it, but that's like why that's why I like reactions a lot, because when I get to ruminate on it and re-experience that, it clicks a lot harder the second time. And she knows, like, we almost instead of going to LA, she almost booked us a trip to Florida to go to the Orlando show this weekend. She knows, and now that she's watched it, she definitely wants to do it again. So maybe we'll see. That'd be really fun. Be cool to have a double date out there. Do some near stuff. You book tickets yet or no?
I'm gonna be booking up tonight. They're like 100 a piece right now.
Ooh, you got good seats then.
That's for balcony. The cheapest seats are like 70.
Okay. Damn, we wouldn't sit together then. We'll see. We'll play some cards.
All right, let me know what your plan is before it gets too late. 'Cause I know that's kind of.
I'll ask her now. But yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm excited for you. It's so good, dude.
I'm so excited.
Oh, dude.
I have also now told her that this is no more excuses. We're going to go through Automata soon. She's like, I don't want to kill the robots. I'm like, fine, I will play. You can watch the story. I understand. You don't want to kill the robots.
Just I'd say just don't do the other endings.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead her through just the A through E. But like I said, she tapped out at the very beginning when she's like, "This little robot's minding his own business in the field. Why would I kill him?" I'm like, "You gotta. That's the quest." And she's like, "No, he's just being a good little guy over here. I'm not gonna kill him." It's like, all right, you've understood the assignment.
So, it is also very replicant as well. It is not just
Yes.
near Automata. It is a near concert. So if there's a way to go through that, or at least get a summary of Replicant, so that it hits where it should.
Yeah, she's gone through Replicant with me, and
Oh,
she
right.
loves the soundtrack with it. She's added that to her playlists.
Nice.
The overworld theme in particular, that's one of her favorite go-to songs from that.
In Replicant?
Yeah.
Nice. Just to go back to Cyber's messages, kind of wish they played into that aspect at the end, or if you have Shutter. Yeah, so Shutter's been cool. Shutter's a fun place to explore. Yeah, let's see.
That reminds me, I need to get rid of my Hulu soon.
David, I'm gonna tell her what this plan is and see what her temperature is on that. What'd you get this week?
All right, I got a lot of shit. Part of it is because I have sold some things, and so I immediately went and put the money into more things. There's one package that unfortunately probably is going to come in for like 2 months, and I'm fucking stoked for it to come in when it does arrive. But the other is, again, I got a hardy fucking tax return So I did decide to, I put a bunch into savings, put a bunch towards fast paying off bills, but then I did allow myself some funny money spending. So let's go. We're gonna start with a couple pre-order items. The latest Evercade cartridges, I test them, they work. As we all know from past episodes, this has become a saga where I've had a bunch of these cartridges not work. But these ones work pretty well. So I am now continuing to stay with a complete collection for Evercade. I'm a little annoyed. They did their teaser for this year, and they have 4 new bits of hardware that's going to be shown off this year. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do for new hardware. I imagine we might get like a Versus version 2, and then probably some more handhelds like the Capcom one that they have, and I don't remember the other one they have. Um, but I don't like that they're doing a lot of handhelds, or at least a lot of hardware stuff. There's a lot of cartridges that really need to be made. As an Evercade owner, the biggest gripe that I have, honestly, is that one, because of the weird licensing, not all the cartridges work on the console version of the Evercade. So like the Namco collections don't work on the console version, they only work on the handheld one, and that's just because of the weird licensing, the agreement they had with Namco at the time. So if you want to be able to play everything, you have to go ahead and have like either the original Evercade or the Evercade EXP. And the other thing is that honestly, as an RPG gamer, there's like fuck all fucking RPGs on the platform. There's like 50 some odd cartridges now. Most cartridges have like 10 to 15 games on them. And I think that there's maybe 5 or 6 RPGs on the platform. Fucking up your game. Let's get some more fucking RPGs. You mean to tell me you can't secure a fucking Phantasy Star or goddamn Breath of Fire or any of the other myriad of RPGs from the fucking 8 and 16-bit era? They got goddamn fucking Glover. One of the Evercade, I think it's actually on this one here, no, it's not on one of these, but I know on one of the ones that either just came out or are coming out, they have the N64 version of fucking Glover running on it. You mean to tell me you can secure goddamn Glover on the fucking Evercade and you can't secure any fucking RPGs for your platform? Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah, so that's... Alright, I'm starting to feel it coming on already. Where did I put my beer? There it is. So that's my one kind of my 2 kind of biggest frustrations with it so far. Aside from that, keeping it in the realm of pre-orders, Legend of Legacy, the HD remaster that came in. I keep forgetting that this and Alliance Alive are the same series. I need to pick that one up at some
David,
point as
keep
well.
going. I was gonna skip what I got, but I'm gonna clean out this place, deep clean tomorrow, so I'll get my stuff real quick.
All right, you go do that while I go through a couple of these things here that are less interesting. Real quick, Pepperoni in the chat. A week before I watched Love Lies Bleeding. I don't know if y'all saw that. Sorry to go off topic. I haven't heard of that. What's that about, A Pepperoni? Speaking of bleeding and lying, Showtime, Princess Peach. I picked that up as well. I am excited to play this. I will say it's hilarious, the reviews I've been seeing for this game. So many weird fucking people being like, oh my god, it's an easy game. It's like it's for girls or something. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, who the fuck did you think this was for? Like, it's explicitly a game catered to a younger demographic, does lean a little bit more towards the girl side. What the fuck did you expect when buying this?
I don't think there were a lot of necessarily hard Nintendo games these days.
And then I also did a big ass purchase at Video Games Prince there, the Canadian company whose name I always forget the exact name of. They had a big ass clearance sale on Xbox stuff, so I decided to say why not, because like so much shit was $8. So one, I did also pick up Unicorn Overlord because I do want to play that, and I know that in Japan it's sold out physically, and it is getting a little harder in some regions.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if you want a certain version of it, it's still available now, and I think there's even still Xbox collector's editions out there.
Fair.
Switch, I would want Switch the most, and those are going to be the harder ones to find.
Yes.
But I mean, 13 Sentinels I thought would have also been tough, but
To be fair, if it wasn't for the reprints that happened, it would have been tough.
yeah, but I feel like Vanilla
Because there was
Ware's
a while it was still going for like 70, 80.
sure.
And then for the Xbox stuff, these were all like $5 to $8 each. So I was like, fuck it, why not? I got Steel Rising. Picked up Siberia 20th whatever edition, the World Before 20-year edition. I have every single Siberia game now that I've picked this one up. I've never fucking played any of them, but I have them all.
I really
Maybe
want
one day
to.
I'll get around to actually playing that series. The Rift Breaker.
Nice.
Had to get this for the partner. Hercule Poirot, the first cases. The Commandos double pack of 2 and 3. And then this one I did decide to get despite what it says on the front. I guess the developers did put out a patch to make it so that way you don't need to be constantly connected online to play it. Otherwise, I would have completely skipped it. But Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. I love me some 40k. I do like me some Diablo style gameplay. And now that there is a patch that removes the need to be online only, I am excited for that. Crazy Pepperoni in the chat. It's an A42, A24 romance crime thriller starring Kristen Stewart and another actor I can't remember. The other actor is like really buff.
For Love Lies Bleeding, yeah, I heard that was really good. I'm
Yeah.
an A24 fanboy, so I'm watching that soon.
And then I got this for a couple bucks. Dynasty Warriors on PSP. Always happy to have those in the collection. Also got for just a couple bucks. Not sadly the big box. I do need to find the big box for it. But Riven, the sequel to Myst on PC. And then just a few more things here. Got a lot of Japanese things. Not a lot of Japanese things, but a lot of Japanese things. Got an interesting demo for Doki Doki Pyo I can't fucking pronounce it right now. But it's an interesting, cute little RPG game that is a demo version of it. I didn't see anything for it online, so that might be something that is missing to be dumped. So I'll probably be working on that this weekend. A weird little simulation raising game called Debut 21. Thought it looked kind of neat there. Basically raise a AI to sentience. Anime Girls, why not? Some other kind of dating simulator-esque game. Hyper Securities S on the Saturn. And then this is the main reason I got these games. This is kind of a neat novelty. It's a sealed game. And it is Uwara on the PC Engine Super CD-ROM 2, which is an extension of an extension for the PC Engine. Somewhat heavy haul per day. Yeah, it's a fucking heavy haul, and the big ticket item has yet to be shown off still. This is kind of neat. It is a digital comic, essentially, just for the PC Engine on CD. And they kind of treat it like what would end up becoming like motion comics that we see kind of nowadays with full voice acting and shit like that. So kind of an interesting little novelty. But the last thing, the big thing, the big beefy boy, it's finally here. The Wallet Crusher itself, the RetroTink 4K. I got to use this a little bit for one of the days this past week. I'm never going back to playing a Switch game without this ever again.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. It's fucking chef's kiss.
So two things.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, no, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
no, that's just it. It's so fantastic. There's two different ways to utilize it. There is the I don't want to fiddle with anything, just give me a preset, and most of the presets basically get you to what you want and work fantastically. And then there's the let me really fine tune every single detail for my specific TV model. Because the one thing that is a downside is my 4K TV doesn't have HDR, but my monitor does. So I do get a lot more out of playing it on my monitor than I do on my TV. But it's so fucking gorgeous. The amount of detail that gets added back into games, playing them with different CRT masks, playing them with the upscaling. Switch games genuinely looking phenomenal. I put a bunch of Switch games into performance mode for the ones that have them, and just let the fucking 4K handle it from there. And fucking Bayonetta looks so fucking crispy.
Yeah.
Like not quite like current gen console crispy, but like if you were to say like this was like a pro PS3 looking kind of graphics, I'd be like, yeah, that looks exactly what I think that is. It's fucking absolutely worth every bit, every penny. Definitely only if you are into getting that level of fidelity out of a bunch of consoles. I wouldn't buy it for any just one console. But if you are like me and that you have 50 some odd consoles that you can use with this device, fucking easily. Hey, Beck, what's going down?
What up? What up? What up?
So yeah, that is what I got there.
Two things. All right, so let's see. Uh, Big D looks smaller.
I think it's just my positioning. I'm a little bit more slanted today.
Oh yeah. So two things. One, we're gonna look into the dates. If you want to hold off like later tonight, we'll look off at the dates tonight and then get to you tomorrow.
Yeah, if you, I can hold off until purchasing them tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, because she's down. We gotta check the flights. Two, Neo messaged me. So,
Oh,
Kells, if you're out there or whenever you're here, April 8th, game's gone by.
April 8th.
Persona 5 Royal, Monday, April 8th.
Hell yeah.
I am dying at Becky. I'm currently dying. I just got the flu. I'm on the recovery slope, but it is in the midst of it. Yeah. All right. I'll just go ahead and show off my things because I do want to get this going. I mentioned last week I got that one, the DreamWorks kart racer. I want to continue this trend of getting all the weird, dumb kart racers on Xbox. So I got Ryan's Road Trip.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, with
Support child labor.
yeah, new tracks and racers. Hell yeah, Ryan. I got these in here finally. So I got Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and I got Persona 4 Golden for the Switch. Look at Crispy on there.
I wanted to get Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, but if it was the actual 3DO release, I kind of care less that it's like an HD version.
You know what? I waited for I think 3 or 4 years for it, and it was annoying they didn't do it. But I was like, I told myself I was buying it that long ago, so whatever.
Fair.
Amy and GV flu sucks. It does suck. It is not fun. A lot of head fog, and this is not gonna be fun to say. I got this game. Defeat monsters and gain strong weapons and armor. You may be defeated, but don't give up. Become stronger. I believe there will be a day when the heroes defeat the Devil King.
Sounding like a goddamn light novel title.
Yeah, I saw that. I immediately just bought it. I was like, all right, you guys, good job on the name. I loved it. Can't say I'll play it, but love the title.
I might pick that up at some point. It looks interesting-ish.
It does. It pretty much sound like it's good title. David, what'd you play this week?
Hell yeah, I played a lot of things. I mean, I Steam loaded a lot in one day, but I played more 7 Rebirth. I'm almost done Chapter 8. I will say the game does get to a point where the side content becomes such a fucking slog. There is just so much side content.
There's a lot of
in that
side content I
game.
hear.
It kills the pacing of the game if you're trying to do all of it. And I am actually falling right into what a lot of people apparently fall into, which is I'm kind of starting to skip some of the side stuff. I'm not skipping all of it. Anything that has like story to it, I'm keeping through, but all the minigame shit, unless there's like a dedicated weapon that comes out of it, I'm skipping. And even then, I've skipped over one minigame that I fucking hate, which is like a timed box destroying one from like the original one there. You have to get a high score in one of the box destroying time puzzle ones.
Hmm.
And I'm like, fuck this. I hate this minigame. I hate time running shit. And it sucks because it's one of the best weapons for Tifa in the game that you get from that. So I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm just not gonna have that weapon, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard it was a very
Uh,
bloated game, which is
there's
cool,
someone
but
did the
also
math.
like
There's 70 mini games in the game.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely fucking unnecessary. Like sometimes the mini games can be fun and an interesting way to kind of break up the formula of it all. Um, but at the end of the day, I don't know why people are fucking calling me here. Why are you calling me? I don't fucking answer the phone. It's one of those things that fuck man, my voice is starting to go now again too. It's a fun game. I still enjoy it. It's just frustrating because chapter 8 is the underground desert when you're in the prison section in the original 7. And so I'm waiting for this tense, emotional fucking moment to happen. This genuine kind of like, all right, we're getting a big confrontation and a big character moment. And the way they've handled it so far with Barrett has been phenomenal. Um, Even with some of the changes they made to it. But it's one of those things where it's like, all right, now we're gonna stop and you're gonna go play a children's card game, and you're gonna stop and you're gonna go deal with these thugs. And there's also some interesting moments of writing convenience. The characters get blindsided by basic thugs who don't bother to take the weapons away from the party. And I'm sitting here like, we fought in giant robots. We fought in Sephiroth. We've gone ahead and killed giant monsters. And you mean to tell me that some average fuck with a fucking bat is gonna blindside Cloud and the rest of the party? Leave them with their weapons. And when we have all our weapons and we're getting ready to go ahead and fight back, they're gonna be like, oh, you don't want to do that. Like, we have literally cut through buildings. The fuck do you mean I don't want this? I will fucking destroy you.
Just first to your point, you probably said I'm a side quest. No, that's fair. There's a lot of it.
Mm.
That part always confuses me. So like, you gotta disconnect yourself. Like in the Avengers game, for example, they really want me to believe that like some random soldiers are gonna fight the Avengers in like battle, right? Like these motherfuckers destroy aliens. Like these guys in like stun batons and stuff are gonna be nothing, right? Like Thor could literally like flick them and they're dead, right? But
Yeah.
um, yeah. So I think of that. You ever hear what happened in The Walking Dead?
No.
Spoilers out there for how The Walking Dead ends, the comic. Um,
Mm.
if you don't want spoilers, fast forward like 30 seconds, starting now. That's kind of thing I always I appreciate, right? At one point, like the casuals, the smaller enemies can't do anything. But the cool thing about The Walking Dead was literally some kid walked in while Rick slept and just capped his ass. Like the kid has a grudge.
I guess that's a
Like,
way to do it, but
the
like,
kid has a grudge, but like you think of Rick as this immortal guy, got through all this shit. He's not though, right? He can still get fucked at any point. You're still a human. You're still asleep. Done. I actually appreciate that. Spoilers over. In that sense though, it doesn't make sense that like, yo, these guys do all this shit. Regular people shouldn't just like do that to them, but you do have to have
like
content
it
for the
should
sake of it.
literally, it should basically be like a moment in wrestling where they go ahead and they fucking hit them with a chair, and it's like, oh, you fucking what, mate? But yeah, so it's some weird inconsistency with the writing in that regard. But aside from that, I have still been enjoying it, just slowing down on a lot of the minigame stuff. Just because I kind of want to just get to the fucking end of the story. But they have introduced a lot of interesting changes that I'm curious to see where they go. I am glad I did play Ever Crisis because I was right with one of the trailers. A character from Ever Crisis is in this game and does play a pivotal role to it. Um, so it's on one hand, I do appreciate them really trying to make a shared universe out of everything. On the other hand, it is basically in the comic book territory now, where if you're not following 80 different things, it's so easy to get lost on a lot of the story that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, as mentioned, where I have the Tink 4K there, I started playing a bunch of games with it. Played some Soul Calibur 3 with it. Beautiful, crispy CRT emulation with that. Looking like I was staring basically at an arcade cabinet back in the day. Same thing with Capcom versus SNK 2. Played some of that with it. I'm still trying to find just the right setting for it. Um, PS2 2D graphics have a weird kind of visual filter to some of them that I'm trying to find just the right mask for it to get it to blend perfectly. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting close. And like I said, I played some Bayonetta 1, the Switch version of it, and it looks like you were playing on like somewhere between like a PS3 and a PS4 version now, as opposed to the blurry mess that the Switch version of Bayonetta 1 normally is.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Legends Arceus looked fucking fantastic on it. I played. What else did I play? Oh, I played some PS1 games on it as well. A little bit of Tekken 3 on it. Looked fun. It's just. I really want to go ahead and just spend a week playing around with this thing and really seeing what a lot of my consoles kind of look with this thing. It's fucking chef's kiss. Again, I can't recommend it to everyone. 750 is a lot to fucking throw down for a scaler. But again, if you're like me, you have 50 plus consoles in your collection, you have fucking 4,000 some odd games in your collection like I do, then it is easily worth it to get the best fucking picture possible out of all of them. And to essentially, in a lot of ways, future proof your consoles. Because a lot of people, and this is the other catch to it too, is a lot of people spend money on HDMI mods for their consoles.
Right.
I've never had an interest in doing those kinds of mods myself. But if you figure even just the HDMI mod in N64, which is one of the most commonly HDMI modded ones, can be like $300 alone just for the one console. Versus, okay, save up a little bit more and get one of these bad boys. Oh, I should play some 64 on that. I need to get an SD cable from, or an SD, goddamn, S video cable from a 64 at some point. But no, so yeah, I've played a lot of miscellaneous games here and there. I also picked up a Sprite Studio. I forgot to mention that in one of my pickups, which is a kind of pixel art program. I'm starting to begin my journey of learning how to do pixel art, and so I've been playing a lot of that, doing a lot of that lately as well. Is practicing pixel art. Legs are a fucking nightmare to do in pixel art. I am learning that. I'm not good at doing limbs, but yeah, that's more or less everything I've been playing at this point.
Right. All right. Let's see. Got a list of things. David, buy Balatro. I'm still telling you that. It's so fucking good. It's such a good ass game. I literally.
Wait, what?
That's Balatro, the card game, the poker card game that
Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
yeah.
It's so good, David. I am now 20 hours in on that game. It is one of those games you pick up and then 3 hours later you're like, fuck.
It's
It's
funny because
so
my
good on
boss has
Steam
also
Deck,
started
too.
pestering me about that.
It's so good on Steam Deck, dude. It's fantastic. It's also on sale right now for like $12. We could have got that on Humble for that same price too. It's top 3 of the year for sure. It's so good. Let's see. Um, I brought it's a side story. I brought the VR headset on Monday because it was like just some of the kids showed up because for whatever reason our school district wanted to have a Monday as a school day and then just spring break starts Tuesday.
Yep.
So who come to school for Monday? No, spring break starts Friday. Congratulations. But a couple kids came in, so I brought my VR headset in. Put it on. Let's updated it to the Google Map app where you can kind of walk around places. Put the kid on the headset. You can go wherever you want. Whole entire world. You can go wherever you want. Man's picked Texas. And everyone's like, you can go anywhere. You go to Texas. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, excuse me. I'm dying. So,
Nice, Squirtle.
let's see. Um, here's a funny little anecdote story too. The girlfriend and I were at Best Buy, walking around the game section. And like I said, I talked about this. She just started, right? So I got her Animal Crossing and Stardew. And this will give you a good perspective as to who she is, because you haven't you never talked to her, or met her or anything. So this is a good perspective of her. This perfectly defines her as a person. Looking through games, she sees Hollow Knight. Like, oh, this looks cute. I'm like, you're not gonna like that. It's hard. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, just put it back. Okay. We leave. Last week we're recording the podcast. I get up to leave and I go to the living room. She's on her Switch, and then I walk into the living room and she's like, goes like this. Like, you okay? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you sure? She's like, yeah, why? I'm like, why are you hiding your Switch? She shows me. She went back to Best Buy to buy Hollow Knight because I told her not to.
My partner as well basically saw Hollow Knight on my PlayStation. She's like, that art is gorgeous. I want to play that. I'm like, all right. And she got to the first boss. She was doing okay, but it was her first time playing that kind of style in Metroidvania, and so it didn't go well. But that's one that she actually does want to return to at some point now that she's gotten a lot better at gaming and whatnot.
Yeah, she's going through it. She's dying a lot, but she's going through it. And she's like, how do I do this? I'm like, I haven't played the game yet, so I couldn't tell you a single thing about that. You are on your own for that, but good luck on that.
You do it with the power of masochism and just getting good.
But she is that person who will do something to spite people saying not to do something. So I respect it though. David, just to give you a heads up, I will probably start Yakuza tonight. I can't promise you it is gonna be at a decent pace, but I am starting Yakuza.
All right. I will probably finish 7 as soon as I can, and then I'll have my partner start going through Yakuza 0 as well then.
Okay. And then I'm planning on, when I get back in April, I plan on actually getting the Games Gone By stuff going, which, speaking of on point, because I feel like how Adrian sounds right now, I'll just beat my ass. Fortunately, this is the flu. I wish it was allergies, weirdly enough. Kel's, April 8th, we were recording Persona 5 Royal Games Gone By with Neo. So, lock in that date.
Also, podcast housekeeping stuff. I'll probably be buying some domains soon. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier. So I'll be rebuying the Blue Rupees and Games Gone By domains.
Don't announce that stuff, David.
Huh?
Don't announce that stuff because people just buy it ahead of time.
Oh no, we buy it with a different domain tag. Instead of a .com, we get a
.com. That's why I didn't know. I get paranoid about that. That's why I hid my handle change. Even though I know I could trust people, I'm like, eh. Anyways, I'm buying it now as we speak. Yep, there you go.
What a true Chad, buying it for us so I don't have
to. I got reminded when our buddy Sam bought Tumblr2.com and got a cease and desist. That was a funny story.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that the other day randomly. Is that it's hella expensive?
You're political incumbent and fucking.
No, not him. A different Sam.
Oh, not that Sam. Oh, it was Matsky.
Yeah, Smartsky.
How is that kid doing? You still talk to him?
Very, very lightly. He was doing good when I did my road trip around there, but one of those, you see him on Facebook every now and then, you're happy for him, you know?
Yeah, that's the same thing. I saw him on Facebook. It's like, good for you.
I would love to do a reunion podcast.
Robinson.
I would do a reunion podcast with everyone. It'd be fun. Ooh,
Yeah.
actually, it might be the 10-year anniversary for that. That might be a fun little one-off thing to do.
That's what we do. We get the crew back together to do Freeze Cracker podcast, 5th edition,
Be the 6th edition.
6th
Yeah,
edition.
I might touch base with everyone. That'd be fun. Um, ideas. I'm gonna. Hey Siri, remind me to assemble the podcast crew.
Okay, I've added assemble the podcast crew to the list.
Cool.
All right, Kel's in the chat. Top 10 friends you don't keep up with us. That's all my friends. I don't. Adrian and I have talked a lot about this before. Someone on the podcast, but also off the podcast. Neither of us are really the type to like be super social and up with everyone. I am very much the kind of friend that I'll fucking disappear for months at a time, and then I'll just kind of come back and be like, all right, where did we leave off again? A lot of the point of this podcast is so Adrian and I can, have a reason to continuously stay in touch and keep up with one another, but also the fact that like, I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna do in my free time? Let's be honest.
Man says now
But
as
yeah,
I've been
no,
waiting to play
that's-
Tekken for all these months.
Yeah, sure. I don't have free time anymore. I do server work.
I keep up
but-
with some people nowadays, but it's just between like you have coworkers you keep up with. You just I tell that to a lot of my students. You keep in touch with me. You're welcome to. When you graduate, keep in touch with me. We're not gonna be best friends. Like,
Yep.
we could be friends at that point, but we're not best friends because like I have no capacity in my life for that kind of relationship at that point with more people, right? Like friends come and go, but I can't actively keep up with. I'm not the person that has every once in a while I spam everyone and be like, hey, hope you're doing well. And shout outs to political Samuel, the Geekinator himself, fantastic dude who the only person I know who will actively just call people out of the blue, just to call and just like, hey, how are you doing? And I think that's cool. Yes, sir.
I'm so glad I don't live closer to you guys, because when he was going through his campaign, I probably would have lightly rigged him. Just same old to geek, hide the guns, 2024.
Yeah,
Uh,
but hey, good shit for him. He's making moves, and I'm super proud of him.
I hope he does good for his community.
He gets sworn in on the 1st, so in a couple days.
I have strong disagreements with his party alignment, but however, I hope he just genuinely focuses on doing good for people. So
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we don't really get too political on this podcast. He's on the conservative side, but not the conservatisms that I necessarily I abhor, right? So it's like,
He definitely tries to go like that more classical, what we used to think of conservative, where it's more about fiscal responsibility and just
as long as you're
lower
cool with
government
people,
involvement.
if you treat people like fucking human beings and not like cause a segregation or divide, I genuinely don't give a shit what you believe in. Like, put your money into one thing, put your money in the other thing. I get there's a big divide on that, right? Like, put the money in the military. Don't put. I get that.
Yeah.
But like at a core level, as long as you're good with people and don't fuck over people, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, don't be an asshole. Like that's just full stop. Just don't be an asshole.
But he does good. He even visited his like this homeless community out there. He asked them like, hey, what's up? What's wrong? Like, how do we like he's actively getting out there. And hey, he ran against this older dude. And a town that he's in needs younger people because that is the town that like younger people will leave for the cities. Easy. And he's young. And you need someone that like has the energy and youth to be like, hey, long term, this is what we're doing. Because Lord help me, biggest complaint with government, get the fucking old people out of here. It's so fucking annoying. We need age restriction on the top. Get the fuck out. We're done.
That's one of the largest fucking problems with Maine is, again, we have one of the oldest fucking populations per capita, and that extends also to our fucking government. And The unfortunate thing is because of how it's run, fucking anyone that has, as soon as basically kids get their fucking degrees, they leave the state. We have some of the nicest colleges, honestly. Bowdoin and fucking Bates are very well-renowned colleges across the country that are here. And Orono is also another big, popular rich kid campus in the state. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, as soon as they get their degrees, they leave because, again, quite frankly, like as we've talked about this all in the podcast, I love money. I will always try to chase money until I find something that is worth more than the money at that point. But like I could easily make triple what I'm doing now if I actually left this fucking state, which maybe in the next 10 years that might happen.
On a flip though too, it's also cheaper enough out there that you get away with a lot more too.
It used to be. Maine is actually starting to get
everything is
super
growing,
expensive.
but like
everything is, but Maine, for what little is out here and how little the pay has increased in comparison to other regions. Again, I for the experience that I have and for the title I have, I certainly don't make what I should be making. I get other benefits in other ways of my job, but it's like I said, it's still one of those things where there's a reason why people leave Maine, and basically as soon as they're able to.
Also,
we are only a retirement state at this point.
By nature, youthful, younger ages like cities. You want to be with people, you grow like that, and then eventually you get old and tired, and you go out to a place like more barren, and that's when a lot more conservative values tend to harbor up, right? David, I'm trying to, I know I said shortness, but I sped run this audiobook called American Predator about the serial killer Israel Keys. You ever heard of him?
No.
I don't know how I never heard of him. Big name serial killer. But it's like fascinating. The story, how they did things, and how fucking stupid some people that run things are. It's bizarre. They managed to catch this guy off the most like biggest like Hail Mary, and they found him. Cool. They had their people lined up. Hey, these guys have been leading it. We know in and out how to interrogate. Let's do this. The prosecutor of Alaska steps in. No, I'm gonna take this, and he's higher up and doesn't know shit. Never interrogated. So they're like saying there, it's like you can't do this, but like they couldn't. So they gave him like the smallest like what they could. Here's what the do's and don'ts. Fumbled so much, and then there was no maximum security prison over in Anchorage, so
yeah,
or Alaska.
Surprising.
So they got lazy and they kept letting him have things. Like he kept like dude's a big dude, and he was able to, like, when he sat in there for a hearing, straight up just got out of his shackles and took a run for the door, and it took like multiple people and like a taser to bring him down. He's like, fuck it, why not? He actually requested for an expedited death penalty.
Trial. Oh, interesting.
He was like, yeah, I'm out. I don't want this to drag out, so I'll tell you everything you want if you promise me death at the end of 1 full year. And as you know, with all that, there's a lot of work with that. So they were never able to get him to do that. So he committed suicide in his cell because the security kept giving him shit, and the dude was smart and just eventually, like, he kept saying, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, he kept hinting at it, like, I'm gonna do it. And we kept giving him shit, and the lead guy's like, fucking stop giving him shit. Do not let him write things. Take away his pencil. Do not let him have cellophane. Do not this, do not that. They gave him disposable razors. Yeah. And so, yeah, he managed to kill himself. But he never, because they were never able to get him the full thing, he kind of fucked with everyone else too. And so they never know what his final body count was. Estimations at 11. And one of them is also because before he died, he left 11 skulls written on paper with his blood. But he likes fucking with people. He was smart. But yeah, nothing like serial killer stories that fucking freak you out, because that is the most small percent of people. But like the way you hear them just say like, yeah, I would just wait out there and just wait for someone to come to me. It was totally random. Like serial killers just kill at random. Like doesn't matter. And it makes you think sometimes. You just get paranoid like that.
Yeah.
And there was one story he told where he's like, yeah, I waited outside this one spot, saw one car pull up in front of the apartment complex. He was my target. I'm like, cool. It was raining. I was ready to just blindside him and take him. Got out of his car, locked it, newspaper above his head, and ran inside because it was raining. And he was like, if he was 5 seconds slower, he would have been dead.
Fuck.
And you just like, and imagine that. That guy has no idea, right? You're just like, Jesus Christ, dude. It's American Predator. If you have the Audible, fantastic story.
That's on Audible.
Yeah, that's why I listened to it. I started playing it on the way to work now.
Credits I got to use on there.
Yeah, I recommend it. I listened to it on my commutes to work, and I just had to barrel through it. I was so fascinated that I just like sped run it without even doing that. And now I'm
I gotta
listening.
get caught up on Small Time Murders too.
I'm also listening to Mindhunter now. Also fascinating. It's Netflix series, but that beginning, man, it's fucking captivating.
You watched that Dark Side of the Kids TV series, right?
Yeah. There's another
I got
episode
that
next
queued up
week.
to watch this weekend.
New
Oh,
episode
there's
next
another
week. They're gonna
episode?
add a bonus episode. Because it's done so well. And they said too, if it does well, we'll just keep adding to it, which it's doing incredible.
Good. Expose all this shit to light.
Such a bummer. Me and coworkers started talking about that. It's unfortunate that all those child actors just nosedived.
It explains so much because there's so many where there was moments in a lot of their young adult lives where it's like, man, they're acting fucking weird. We know acting does shit to people, but like,
if we were old enough to do that whole like Britney gone crazy thing, I'm sure we'd be laughing at it too, right? Not knowing.
Yeah.
But like now, you're like, damn, that's that. And I do think if it happened now, I think people would be more privy to it. But who knows? April says, so people just want to watch the world burn or cause mayhem. This is true. You're making me want to watch, or again, a true crime like my mom. True crime is fascinating. I watch a lot of that true crime stuff. I tell myself,
in and out of it.
I tell myself, if it wasn't for education and creativity, like on that movie side, in another universe, I'm 100% a homicide detective. I'm promise you that is my line. It kind of coincides with how I think, right? Because I'm always trying to jump ahead of the story. I'm like, how do I get ahead of this? How do I predict where this lands? In little bits of moments. So in that book, for example, American Predator, dude's fit. He's fit. But then they tracked him going to Mexico for gastric bypass surgery. He is not a thick dude. He's a big dude. Like in a like he could take down some motherfuckers, but like not big. And that the detectives had the same look as you. Like, what the fuck? Gastric bypass surgery, what the fuck? Why'd you need that for? Immediately, he's 6'4". Immediately in my head, I'm like, because I heard earlier, like you said, sometimes he just wait for people. He's biohacking his own body so he could sit outside. So he didn't need to eat. He can just sit outside for days waiting for someone to fall into like his scope.
Holy fuck. That's holy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, 6'4", that's my height. Like what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
And some stuff. So he has 11 body count deaths. He was a Marine, so there were moments overseas where he's gone unaccounted for, which everyone's like, yeah, he probably practiced on prostitutes first. And then they asked him, because he would go to Canada early on when he was younger. His first victim was when he was 18. But when they asked him, okay, so Canada, did you kill anyone there? He's like, oh, Canadians don't count. So there is a very extreme.
I don't what's going
All
on
right.
here.
Do you hear me?
I don't hear. Do you?
Fuck.
Oh, I hear me now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No hearing me. All right.
All right.
You can
All right.
no, you can't hear me in there. Okay.
All right. So while Adrian is troubleshooting things, y'all can still hear me, right? Crazy pepperoni. You can hear my
can you hear me?
sweet sultry voice. No one gives a fuck about you, Adrian. I'm talking.
Okay.
Can you hear me, pepperoni?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
So Juice shocked me again. Dude just like static shock over here.
That's a serious thing that's come back.
Anyway, yeah, do what Canadians don't count, so it's very high likelihood that there's more to this.
Nope.
Also, oh my god, why Discord makes no sense into how the camera thing
maybe
works.
we do find some time to tinker with Ninja or some shit.
Yeah, I would love to, because now it's back to what it was. I don't know why.
Oh, I have slid off.
Well, no, I gotta fix it.
Oh,
It
this is pure cancer.
yeah, I do like to try that because I think with guests too, it just works better.
Yeah.
David, I gotta mention to you, and you're gonna be upset about this. There's really good news and there's extremely bad news
I don't
for
like
you.
where that's going.
There's a really well, it's not really that bad news. Genuinely, I don't give a shit. You're gonna care, and I hope you don't, but you're gonna care. I played this game called Mars After Midnight.
I've heard the title before.
You Papers, Please, Return of the Oberdin, Lucas Pope,
Okay. Yeah.
his exclusive Playdate title.
Ooh. Okay.
$6. Best game on Playdate.
Okay.
Only on the catalog.
Intrigued.
Yeah, I know. You're not happy about it, but like, oh well. Like, just let it go. It's best game on Playdate.
Maybe.
It's $6.
Yeah, but I still barely touch my Playdate because its ability to be played in any time but fucking Optimum Light is disgusting. I love that handheld. I honestly, what I should do is just spend more time with it connected to a monitor with the Playdate.
Or just, I
emulator.
genuinely play it with that light that I got. It's actually been a lot of fun. It's given me old Game Boy vibes with that light now in bed. I sure play it on PC. I don't care. I think it's important to support when the big name developer makes a Playdate game, and it's only $6. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. Genuinely, part of the joy of the Playdate has been the embracing of just cheap indie titles. Of just like, here's just basically concept games. Here you go. Here's a neat idea I've been working on. Have fun. It is the perfect platform for just having a simple, quick experience.
Yeah, I think where did I post this at? I wonder if it's on here or not. Probably not. I straight up spent like $70 and got like 17 games for the play date when it was on that sale the other week.
Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, I support developers on there just because they're so cheap and why not?
Yeah.
But it's really cool. It's got Papers, Please vibes, but it's comical. You run a therapy session on Mars for monsters, but certain nights are only built for certain monsters. So like the first night, only Cyclopses. So you go to the window, you roll down the window with the crank. You'll see a monster. You guys scan them up and down. One eye, cool. Let them in. They'll come in. They'll eat their food. Yeah, clean up after them. Set it aside, and then get it done before the next monster comes in. And then you gotta check if it's like three eyes. No, but it's got dumb, silly humor too, where it's like, all right, this night's only for monsters that fart. Knock, knock, knock. Open it up. You'll see an alien just like there, and then all of a sudden you're like, cool, come on in. And
Interesting.
it's cute. It's cute, but art's really cool. Lucas Pope, fantastic developer. I'm actually really tempted to go through Return of the Obra Dinn. I was thinking about it today. I know I bought it, and I was like, what the fuck did I buy it on? I bought it on PS4, so I might just play it on there. Even though I really want to play it on Steam Deck. But yeah, so again, David, I would love for you to play it already as it is, and if it was, I checked. If it was on itch.io, I think this is one of the ways to be like, hey, please do look at the catalog to at least like.
That's fair.
But I would like for you to just check out the catalog and download a game just to see how it looks because it's cute again. So highly just hope you play that because it's the best game on there for sure. We'll do Yakuza, like I said, David. No promises on timeline. What else have I been playing? I got the EDF bundle, David, if you want it.
Hell yeah. Good man.
And then I'm
buying that bundle as well, just because what I have duplicate I can give to my partner so she can play.
That's fair. And then David, there's a Spring Screams bundle on there right now.
Yeah, it all looks pretty mid.
For the $9, you get Escape the Backrooms though, which is multiplayer.
I know I'll never play it.
I was gonna get it just because I like getting those games, but that's fair. What else? I gotta admit, I've been a little toxic lately, and every once in a while, I check on two people. I check on the Halo 5 dude.
Yep.
Because I see so much Discord about Halo 5 randomly lately. And so he blocked me. So I go on one of the old podcast accounts and check, and it's still like just surges Halo 5. What didn't you like about Halo 5 story? I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. And then I check. There's this one dude on Reddit who just, I forget what. He asked for like advice on how to date, and we give it, but Mans does not believe anyone. He says all the advice is stupid, it doesn't work. So I have the patience of a saint sometimes, right? And so I'm like, cool. And I did it for a day. Let me go back and forth with you. I don't see women out there anywhere. I'm like, what do you mean? Here's, and he's like, give me a city you're close to. This cool. Here's a bookshop. This I never see women there. That's crazy because like there's reviews from women when we would go there. I'm like, you're not going there to pursue women like a fucking predator. You're going out of your own bubble to enjoy the area, and should serendipity like life come down, you will find someone you could talk to, banter back and forth, and do that. Does it work? Try it. I'm like, no, you didn't. And then I was like, all right, well, and I was like, I will search for events. I found And granted, they weren't like the highest of quality, right? But like there were multiple events. I'm like, you can go to any of these, you can do any of this. Mans is like depressed, like but like stubborn and like a chore to talk to. Has been doing that for years. Like, what's the advice? Everyone says like, Jim, it doesn't work. Like, it's not that it doesn't work; it's that you're not committing to it, and also you are unpleasant of a person.
Fucking grade A clown.
Just like talk to him about this, ask about this. Why would I ask that? That's dumb. It's basic banter. Well, socializing's stupid. I don't want to socialize. You're not gonna get anywhere, dude. Like, then you are your own worst enemy. You are alone. Then you're choosing that. Don't complain about asking why when you're choosing not. Everyone's advice doesn't work. I'm like, no. You're asking everyone's advice for the people. Literally, everyone you're asking for, it did work. You're the issue. But
It's really not hard. Like, it fucking fathoms me. I am someone that has no fucking game in life. And I always manage to punch way above my weight class. And it's strictly because of the fact that, like, just fucking be a normal person. Like, how fucking hard is it for people to just be fucking normal?
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. It's definitely hard. Being a single dude, it's hard. I think apps do an incredible disservice in dating in a lot of ways. They help a lot, but they also are a double-edged sword. Yeah, dude was just a wreck, and I let the girlfriend read the messages, and she was like, "Sounds like an incel." I was like, "Here's my actual comment going through all this." Her comment is, "You sound like an incel," because you do sound like an incel. So like, get it together. And every once in a while, I just dip in that to that because people try talking to them, and it's like, I love seeing conversations of just how people just try, and having that experience myself now, I'm like, it's not going to work. Because I would love to see if someone gets through to him, I would love to see how. I'm the kind of masochist though, like straight up, if dude bought me a plane ticket out to go over there, I would love to talk to him. I love it. I would love to talk to him. But yeah, anyway, David,
Yo.
we're at about an hour in. We have just like one or two news stories I want to talk about, and then let's dip out.
Yeah, I got like one or two to bring up as well.
Paper said they have X-ray glasses and don't see the women. Literally, they said they don't see women around. Like, I was like, literally, actually impossible. Like, but then also at centers, like
half the Earth's population.
But then also I find a lot of people like that, which I think I'm gonna get a little off on that. I think our generation has too many choices type syndrome, where like Mans was desperate, but also I'm not dating anyone with a kid or anyone that's fat. I'm like, people overvalue themselves a bit, and that's not to say like think of yourself as highly as you can, but you got to realize that beggars can't be
You can't
choosers.
be looking for a 10 unless you're not a 10 yourself. Like,
yeah, God bless the ones that manage to like be a 3 and like wrangle in a 12. Godspeed. But I think a lot of people just like suffer from choice overload, where it's like, I'm sure the guys that because you'll see guys like, you can look up like Tinder statistics. 55,000 swipe rights, so many swipe lefts and whatever. But I'm like, I promise you, a lot of the ones that you swipe left on would have been a fantastic partner for you, but you are aiming too high and asking too much. You have to, no one's perfect, right? You got to grow with the things that you guys don't match on, because that's just how you're going to grow as a person as well. It says also reasonable to not focus on that is wait till someone approaches you. I told him that too. I was like, yeah, maybe drop this and delete the apps. Why delete the apps? Because literally subconsciously you're still diagnosed to still look at the phone for a match. So stop it.
yeah.
David, what are our stories?
So one of the stories to kind of go over today is we have a new competitor in the hero shooter genre,
Yeah.
and that is Marvel. Interestingly enough.
Yes. So Marvel is making its Overwatch game. You look at the trailer. It looked interesting.
Yep.
Didn't have the it felt a little smitey
Yes.
or paladins. I can't say they have that like really polished look that Overwatch has now, right? Because Overwatch feels, it still does. I'm not lying about that, but it also looks complete, right? If you look at Overwatch, it looks like a whole ass game, right? This one feels, and to be its credit, Overwatch doesn't look or it doesn't look like a free to play game because it wasn't, right?
Originally.
Right. But this one definitely has free to play vibes. Like it looks like a free to play game. Not that
Yeah,
has
and if I remember correctly, it's from Nexion, who does
NetEase.
basically mostly just free to play shit. NetEase, even really same thing. Let's be
Right.
honest.
But yeah, so I think everyone's gonna try it, right? And I think now would be the time to strike, especially while Overwatch is just like, which they canceled their PVE. We can talk about that.
Shout outs. The one reason you were like, no, we need to have Overwatch 2 is we need this enhanced mode for PvE. Congratulations for killing off the one feature that justified you putting a 2 at the end of the game and killing off what could have been.
And I'll never stop saying it. I think out of gaming, Overwatch might be one of the biggest disappointments in terms of trajectory. Same thing with Halo, right? Like Halo is not that guy not kill me, right? Halo is not as like, I guess it is kind of as unfortunate, right? But like
Halo is coming back around is the thing. How long do you think it'll take for Overwatch 2 to finally come back around? Or will it?
it'll never peak. I think the peak is done. I don't know. I think so many balls are dropped. So many moments have passed. I don't know. It just sucks. Bernie says, I got 2 notifications today. Was one Overwatch revealing the new hero, and the other one was that Young Yeah reminded me that they canceled PvE. Yeah.
Yeah, famous voice actor, Young Yeah, which not a story. I see this constantly, and like, yeah, dude's not a trained professional voice actor, but like, don't shit on him for jumping at the opportunity to fucking voice act Kiryu. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people come out of the woodworks to shit on the guy, and you know what? Fuck it. If someone was like, if fucking saying was like, bro, you want to voice Kiryu? I'm not saying no. Like, what the fuck? That wasn't like his choice to be explicitly be like, I am the only one that can be Kiryu. Sega's like, no, a YouTuber who we think could kind of do fine enough to be Kiryu. Sure, here you go. Fucking makes perfect sense. I get it. It's not the worst fucking casting decision I've ever seen. Anyone that thinks his portrayal of Kiryu is the fucking Antichrist has clearly never seen anime from the 80s and 90s. But it's one of those things where it's like, I see the dude getting a lot of hate for that. And I don't fucking get it, because anyone who clowns and says, oh no, I wouldn't fucking take that role is an absolute fucking liar. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, people are also mentioning the female Galactus. Yep. Thirst.
Yeah, Galactica, Galactus's daughter. I think she was part of a mini series, like a kind of what if like storyline. I don't know. More modern Marvel is a vaguer black hole for me, but yeah, I think she was like in a mini series at one point.
So what? Yeah, sneeze one. No, it's gone.
Rip.
Dual Shockers tweeted out yesterday. It's past time Final Fantasy series gave us a black party member who isn't a laughing stock.
Fuck you talking about? Barrett's right there.
Yeah, Somewhere Gamers responded, did you even play the fucking game? Obviously not.
Also, Zaz, yeah, it has a bit of comic relief, but like, he's also the one of the few characters in 13 that has heart to him and like a compelling character arc and literally any soul to him at all in the fucking cast of 13. Like, if anything, like, even though the Black Party members are few and far between in Final Fantasy, they tend to be the best fucking ones, or at least among the best fucking ones. So I don't know what the fuck this dude's smoking. Like, and also, this is kind of one of those things where it's Japan. It is an insanely homogenized country. It's not like America or most of British Europe or UK controlled Europe, where there's a lot of mixing because of slave trading and other unfortunate, horrible things. It's a very closed off country until more modern times. Basically, was like, no, fuck any outsider. Uh, and so it's kind of one of those things where to see even what we have seen is kind of a good progressive step forward as these companies are like, ah, yes, let's go cater to a national demographic. But especially if you're going to talk about Final Fantasy, who Setzer in Final Fantasy VI was originally meant to be black, but they didn't end up portraying that correctly with the character art. But even beyond that, before the concept of really thinking about the concept of an international market, Seven was one of the first RPGs that really embraced the concept of world nationalities. And while at the time it had its problems, I mean, Barrett was basically a Mr. T clone that just swore up and down, and Red 13 was a very surface level interpretation of a Native American. It still shows that attempt to capture different cultures and really represent what a world traveling party could look like, and honestly is still one of the best at that. Like, it's wild how people will go ahead and lambast a Final Fantasy or a Japanese developer for not having more representation, which I still on some level agree. I feel like it's a fucking video game. It's not that hard. Roll the dice, create a fucking random character, and unless race is an important part of that character's identity, it shouldn't matter what their race is. Fucking add some variety in there. It's not fucking hard. However, uh, it's wild to me that we'll go ahead and we'll have these conversations when you still have things like D&D games, or you'll have things like The Witcher and all these other entities where it's like, why is no one crying about representation in Witcher? Why is no one crying about the fact that the most representation we get in D&D media is other races, in the sense of like demons and orcs and goblins and dwarves, but still predominantly mostly white-skinned individuals or light-skinned individuals. So it's a little goofy and a little silly when people think they're trying to go ahead and uh, signal and fucking be like, oh, I'm being a proud ally. It's like, no, you're not. You're not being an ally. You're not doing anything that's actually trying to help bring light to those that are struggling. You're just trying to chase after weird fucking clout, and should just fucking stop.
There it was. Also, he was a good Mr. T clone. Assay Brony, right?
What?
Good Mr. T clone.
Exactly.
All right. Last thing I want to talk about, David, before we out of here, because I do need to do at least one thing and get to bed, or at least lay down.
All right, I have one real quick thing.
Add that first,
to talk about
because it's
after
gonna be
that.
a longer one.
Yeah. All right. The one real quick thing I'll say: shout out to fucking Guilty Gear for bringing back my homegirl Abba. I thought she was never gonna fucking come back to the series. Fucking shout outs. It's fucking wild. I love the additional character details for her. Having the more orange hair because her hair is based off of copper is a really interesting, and or not red, but it's now green. Clever fucking touch. I'm happy to see her back. Maybe that means one day we'll get Zappa back as well. But shout outs to fucking Guilty Gear for bringing back a long adored favorite character of mine.
Nice. All right. David, we're getting news about this Shio Psycho baddie, said April Brony.
Oh, yeah, she is.
We're getting news about the Xbox's direction. Is this a new story, David?
Yeah. So there's been a few different things that have come about it. One of the interesting prominent things that have been talked about, and it's one I've said for a long time should be the way they should handle it, is there's murmurs of the Epic Game Store, the PC version of it, coming to Xbox, which would imply allowing for basically, and I imagine they might handle it as like, it's the Epic Game Store, but you're still going to get the console version of those games, unless they decide to just bring strictly streaming of the PC titles on there to it. But it's kind of one of those things. I've been saying this for a long ass time. You can go back and check older episodes of the podcast. The Xbox line should be treated as just it just works computer. Go ahead, release your Xbox, lock it down to a degree so it can't run into a lot of the same computers that a regular computer, or a lot of the same problems that a regular computer would run into. But basically just have the bitch run Windows, and there you go. It just works. You slap your fucking game in, it boots right into it, it just fucking works. Here's your environment where you can also slap on a mouse and keyboard. There you go. You got your Microsoft Word, because now everything is in the cloud for Microsoft. They have the Office 365. They have so many things where it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just treat the Xbox as an entry level computer. Here you go. It just works. It's a computer.
I think you don't even do not even sell it as a computer. It's a Steam Deck, but a console Steam Deck. Steam Deck can you,
Yes.
but it's never is it advertised that the Steam Deck is a computer. It is like you can go on desktop mode, you can use it as a computer, but it's not at all advertised as that. It is a download and play game thing. And they didn't say Steam directly. They actually just said Epic Game Store and itch.io, which in itch.io would be sick actually to have a storefront on there.
Oh man, if itch.io stopped gonna, so good.
So, the way I would love it if Xbox did it, because I think I think it was Phil Spencer kind of just tossing the news out there and seeing what hit, and the fact that it got received so well. I think
I'm sorry.
Jeez, he was so close.
I gotta pee, though.
He was so close. We'll hang back for a second because we almost made it. Game console / handheld. Dude, if there was an Xbox handheld similar to Steam Deck, and if it let me play any games like downloaded from any games like from my 360 library to my to Game Pass stuff, oh, I'm in. Like, put a price tag on it, and I'll buy it. There is no way I am not. Dang it, David. I was so proud of you for almost making it there. Anyway, I'm gonna try to kill the silence as much as I can, while not horrendously losing my voice. We'll see if that's possible or not. Anyway, you know what? A single puts till the end. Yeah, you almost made it. I see the ROG Ally at Best Buy. It's interesting. I want one just to like have, but like I'm not gonna buy one. If I was gifted one, cool. But like I like playing with it just because it's interesting. But there's 0% reason I would ever need it. Dang, and I got the sniffles too right now.
That's rude. How dare you presume? Come here, Trump baby.
Here he comes with the cat. Here he is. I have a lot of drawn the roster for the MVC. Nice. David really appreciated that. April said he's having a lot of fun drawing the roster for MVC.
Hell yeah.
Um, April also mentioned the handheld kind of rumors. Dude, if an Xbox handheld came out, played all my 360 games, Xbox One, Series, and Game Pass, I'm buying it. Like, easy.
Yeah.
So, like, don't even tell me anything else. Like, just give me a price, I'm buying it. I envision a future where it's like you load into an Xbox the same way you load into it right now, except now you have apps that'll load into its own separate storefront like that. I think that's the way to do it.
No, 100%. And Microsoft, again, they're in the right position to really do a big turnaround and really dominate because they already have all the infrastructure. That's the biggest thing that Microsoft is not really taking advantage of in the gaming spheres, the fact they have the infrastructure. They could easily rework a Surface Pro and basically slap a fucking controller side on each end, and then there you go. There's your fucking Xbox Portable.
Dude, Xbox is struggling right now. The sales are really bad in some places. I think you got to do another Hail Mary. I think this is it. And you know what's the fun part, David? If Steam comes to Xbox, I can play Last of Us on Xbox.
True.
So we did it. We did it, boys. But yeah, I think that'd be a fun move. David, anything else you gotta talk about?
Let me check real quick to see if there was anything else that was like a quick thing. So I actually think there was a story last week that I was like, oh, that's a thing to talk about. Let me actually check my retweets here, because it'd be there if there was. No, we talked about basically everything at that point.
Nice.
I just scrolled to that scene of fucking David Lynch freaking out on the producer there.
It's actually ridiculous that someone would just like step in on that. Like, chill, dude.
Also, the fact that it's still the initial recording, like that's what post is for. Fuck off.
Exactly. Jesus Christ.
Let the man cook.
What do you think about Venom possibly getting an R-rated animated movie? Cool. Or more R-rated stuff. Like, get with the times. We need to start diversifying the age range of these movies.
Truly, we need more like not adult as in like porn, but like we need more like adult fucking content. Like, come on now.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, I don't really see anything else that's like big news here that we missed out on.
David, did you get your mic yet?
No, I got other things instead.
Please get your mic soon.
Eventually, maybe.
That's like the one thing we need you to step up on. Just mic quality. For an audio podcast, we need that cleared up.
The next paycheck, I'll grab one.
Okay.
This paycheck, I ended up dedicating to a product I sent you.
No, I get it. Just let's up the audio on there, because you're so close to sounding silky smooth on our audio podcast.
Bitch, I'm flawless. I don't
No.
know what the fuck you're on about.
No. Y'all talk about Fatal Fury. We did not, but we will save everything else for later because I am dying. David is dying.
Also, I don't care about Fatal Fury, so.
Fair.
The closest I ever care about SNK fighting games is when it's Capcom versus SNK. So
that's fair. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Update. I should have mentioned this at the top of the show. I did not. I will not be here next week. Therefore, there is 90% chance not a Blue Rupees next week. We will maybe potentially let you know if there's an episode going up somehow, some way. Plan on that not being a thing though, and I will update if it is a thing. Otherwise, everyone have a safe week. Enjoy your life. and I hope we're not sick. Games Gone By will start picking back up here in April somewhere, I promise.
Also, apparently, it's a thing now. I mean, if you're listening and happen to be in Boston in October, also buy tickets. We'll fucking maybe do a meet and greet. Who knows?
It'll be funny. I'm gonna be like exhausted by the end of the year though, because I swear I have another October thing. I forget, but I don't have another October thing. And then there's a chance I'm going to Spain for a little bit in November.
Ooh, really?
The girlfriend goes for her kung fu training, and she goes every year.
Oh shit!
And,
All right.
and she just gets hella flights for free.
What martial arts specifically does she do?
Kung fu.
Okay. Because the second you said, I'm like, oh, she might actually go to the same kind of camps that one of my colleagues does, but
I'm not sure. She's some rank of black belt though.
yeah, my buddy teaches. He's got 2 black belts, and I can't remember the exact martial arts name, but it's the one that firebending is based off of in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There.
If
He
you
goes
remind me,
martial
I'll have to
arts and
ask.
cheats a lot. Yeah.
All right, y'all. We gotta take off because time to rest. Everyone,
Yeah, it's Betty by times.
thank you. Stream, much appreciated. Y'all rock. Take care. and
Goodbye.
Goodbye.